Well, it's apt that the ski resort of Aviemore should have a station that resembles a ski lodge, although this station predates the coming of Aviemore's primary tourist trade by nigh on 100 years. And what we see today is the result of a complete restoration and refurbishment of the station in 1998, and haven't they done a lovely job? The ticket office and waiting room, surely not grand enough to be called a concourse, has stoic Highland simplicity, although it still provides the modern conveniences. And one does wonder how many bobble-hatted skiers have passed through this way over the years. The northbound Platform 1 is plenty long enough to take the LNER Highland Chieftain Azumas that pass through here on a daily basis. So let's go to the top of the platform to get away from the noise of the Class 170 that's in Platform 2. And welcome to Aviemore Station, and what a lovely station it is. Well, it gets a very good write-up with Simon Jenkins' 100 Best UK Stations, and I've been here wandering about for a few minutes and I think I tend to agree with him. So yeah, what we're going to do today is just run on the little Class 170 shuttle that's running between here in Aviemore and Inverness, because we're still in the middle of Storm Babbitt and there are no trains south of Aviemore. So yeah, I've come down on the shuttle from Inverness, and so now we're going to go back. But the first thing to do is let's have a closer look at this rather interesting station, and I'll see you back at Inverness. The slight curve of these wonderful canopies is a delight, so let's explore a bit more. The station was built by the Inverness and Perth Junction Railway in 1863. Initially, this provided a route between the two cities via a junction on the Inverness-Aberdeen line at Forres. Then, in 1898, the Highland Railway completed the shorter route directly to Inverness, and that is the route that we will travel on today. Alongside the modern ticket machine, there's also some bygone curios, such as a station clock that doesn't work, and also a rather forbidding sign, which I shall ignore as we continue our loiter. I also love this old Barrow weighbridge. Maybe this room on the right was the old parcels and goods office. And as the line is not electrified, there's still the old Victorian footbridge in place, reminiscent of so many we have seen on these trips around the Highlands. Looking down, there's another no loitering sign. Who knew there was such an issue in Aviemore with loitering? The island platform provides southbound mainline services, and it's also the home of the heritage Strathspey Railway, which runs from here to Broom Hill Station using part of the 1863 line to Forres, which was closed in the 1960s. Of course, there's no trains running on the heritage line today, as there's only a limited service at this time of year. Should you visit when the trains are running, a standard adult return on the line will set you back £19.50, but there's lots of additional dining and first class options that can push the price a good deal higher. Well, this platform is just as beautifully kept as the other, and it also appears to be office space for the Heritage Railway. Right, it's time to board that Class 170 that's been patiently waiting for us all this time. These ScotRail 170 Turbo Stars have been running up and down the line since they were delivered in 2003-2004, and they have a top speed of 100 miles per hour or 160 kilometers per hour. Before we hop on board, let's have a quick look at this pretty simple route. The train will run north before a short intermediate stop at Carbridge. From there it will continue on, spanning the River Findhorn on the Findhorn Viaduct at Tomerton. Northward progress is then thwarted by the valley of the River Nairn until we find a way to cross on the Culloden Viaduct, and then we can finally swing back into Inverness. This short journey is 55.5 kilometres or 34.5 miles long, and it will take just 37 minutes, meaning our Class 170 on this relatively forgiving main line can manage an average speed of a respectable 90 kilometres per hour or 56 miles per hour. And on board, the interior of the 170 looks okay, and the refurbished seats look smart and proved comfortable. This standard class is in a 2+2 configuration and comes with a mix of table and airline seating. And I do love that ScotRail have this great moquette for their priority seating. And there's also some cycle space here too, also bins by the door and a luggage stack. Let's just have a closer look at these seats. And their best feature is this little bit of lumbar support, which makes all the difference on a long journey. Not that this is one. But oh dear, the luggage racks are really grimy. I know there may have been some graffiti here, but it still looks a real mess. Anyway, we're off on this short run to Inverness with one last look at Aviemore station. There's also a good chance to view the Heritage Railways turntable, and beyond that, to nosy a bit at some of Strathspey Railway's rolling stock. Once out on the single track main line, the 170 makes good use of the 80 mph ruling line speed, and we are soon barrelling along to Carbridge. Carbridge station opened in 1892 when the railway reached here from Aviemore, though the station buildings themselves date from 1898 and are thought to also have been designed by William Roberts. And I notice a small sign proudly displayed at the station which reports that Carbridge is the home of the World Porridge Making Championships. Yes, I knew you'd be impressed. We share the pass below the hills at Slocht Summit with the A9 trunk road, and then it's time to cross the River Findhorn on the Findhorn Viaduct, which is closely followed by the smaller Tomerton Viaduct, which looks down on the town of the same name. And then we track the A9 for a little longer before road and rail make their own ways to Inverness. And it's not long before we start to follow the valley of the River Nairn until we can cross at Culloden. The Category A listed viaduct has 29 spans, and at 549 metres or 1800 feet, it is the longest masonry viaduct in the whole of Scotland. And for us, the view up the valley on a sunny day like today is breathtaking. And now all that's left is the westerly run into Inverness. But not before we get some tantalising views of the Moray Firth as we descend down to join the line from Aberdeen. And we're back into Inverness after a fun little excursion to Aviemore. And that just about wraps it up for my short stay in Inverness. I'm going to pick up my larger bag from the left luggage office and then head out to the bus station to see if I can make it to Aberdeen this afternoon. But first, there's a guy hanging around at the drop-off point that wants a word. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little bonus of a ride down from Aviemore to Inverness. The autumn colours as we came down from Aviemore down to Inverness were absolutely stunning, plus that lovely little glimpse of the Moray Firth as we just swing into Inverness. Really enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. Let's not forget a couple of absolutely cracking viaducts as well, so really a journey well worth at least a little video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then do give it a like, and if you haven't already, then consider subscribing to the channel, as these are the kind of things that happen on this channel. So yeah, if you subscribe, you've got more chance of seeing one. In the meantime, from the sidings where the Caledonian Sleeper is currently sleeping due to all the trains that have been cancelled due to the current Storm Babbitt, yeah, I bid you goodbye and thank you very much for watching this one, and I'll see you next time. And in case anyone was interested, we managed to finish third place in the American football competition with a final record of 7 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses.